The iceberg meme doesn't really need any introduction because it is based upon the concept of the real world iceberg. Here we have the surface level knowledge, or the most common or basic level of knowledge, which is supposed to be represented in the first level, and subsequently we go down the order to discover more of the hidden or controversial topics. And that is the very same concept for this video as well. Initially I wanted to make this video for Naruto exclusively, but finally I decided to go for the Boruto series as a whole because that gives me a broader concept to talk about all the various different things. So hello and welcome to UnderYZ, my name is Soham, and in this video we are going to talk about the Boruto Iceberg Challenge, and we shall see how deep does it go. But before that, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to our channel since I had weekly anime and manga related content along with a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, let's begin the video. Now just a couple of things to note here. I'm not going to tackle some of the more explicit stuff in this particular video because YouTube really does not like all of those things. So they might give me a strike or make this video a yellow dollar symbol, so I'm not going to risk all of those things. Yeah, level 5 is going to have some of the more riskier stuff, but it is not going to be something which is going to provoke the TOS. If you want to discuss some of the more explicit stuff, then my Discord server is always available. You can join it for free and we can have a lot of different discussions on any topic that you want. And lastly, before beginning, I shall also mention here that I'm not going to mention any unnecessary or weird theories like Kishimoto went back to Boruto because Samurai 8 was failing. That's just a lame contraption in my opinion, and I'm not going to talk about it. Also, please note here that I'm going to rank all of these ideas or notions on the basis of the number scale. A number 5 denotes a theory which I really enjoy or really I believe in. It might not actually be correct, but it is just something which I really enjoy, and therefore I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. And on the other hand, I will be giving a theory 1 out of 5 if I feel like it's just impossible or bad overall. So with all of that being said, let's tackle into the Boruto Iceberg with level 1. Now we shall begin with the first one, which is plausibly the most popular theory in the entire Boruto series, which is the fact that Boruto is a Tsukuyomi dream. Now this is something which has been tackled since the Naruto days, that Madara actually won the war. He was able to cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, and the entire Boruto series, the entire contraption about the Otsutsuki clan members and Kaguya is nothing more than a dream which was fabricated inside the minds of Naruto and all the other shinobis, where they're basically living their lives inside this infinite Tsukuyomi which was cast upon by Madara himself. This was a very common theory stemming from the original days of Boruto back in 2016. At this point in 2021, the Boruto series has gone long past that particular point, and it's just not something which is even plausible for that matter, but still it was a pretty hilarious as well as interesting theory back in the day, so I'm not entirely going to give it a 1 out of 5, I'm just going to leave it at 2. The next one is Sada having a floral Mangekyo pattern. Now I strongly believe in this one because this came directly from Kishimoto himself. Unless he actually manages to go on to change this particular thing, I don't really feel like there would be something else, especially now that Kishimoto is back into the story. The floral pattern for Sada's Mangekyo is actually very plausible because it suits the narrative of the story involving how Sakura is the mother of Sada. So this is a very plausible theory in my opinion, and even though we are eagerly waiting to see what exactly will be the true power of Sada's Mangekyo Sharingan, but it is very much plausible that the pattern which she is going to have is going to be a combination between the pinwheel pattern of her father, or uncle for that matter, and the floral pattern, something which was teased to us in the original poster or images drawn by Kishimoto himself. He had actually made it by mistake, and I'm sure that you all know the story about all of these things, but even then I feel like Sada is definitely going to have a floral based Mangekyo Sharingan pattern, so I'm going to give this personally a 5 out of 5. The next one is once again a very common theory back in the day, which is Iwabe is Kawaki in disguise. Now yeah, this is a little bit different than the original theory that Kawaki is actually Iwabe when he was introduced into the manga, or rather for that matter in the anime. Yeah, things have changed since then, but still people want to believe that Kawaki is still Iwabe in disguise in the future of the series. It's not really that original of a theory for that matter, but since this is a pretty common notion even up to this date, so I just had to include this here, and since this is a pretty common theory, so this is included in the surface level of level 1. But even then, at the end of the day, I'm just going to give it a 1 out of 5. Now for the last theory of level 1 we have here is Himawari will die for Boruto. Now this is a very common trope associated in shonen that someone close to the MC is going to die for the MC to eventually get a power up. It's not really impossible in a way, but I just don't think that the Boruto series is going to directly implement this particular concept. I'm going to talk about it just in a bit, but I don't really feel like Himawari will sacrifice her life in a very direct manner for that matter. So I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. Now this is everything which we know about Boruto series for level 1. And now we are going deeper into level 2. Things will get a little more darker from this particular point onwards, and we begin here once again from Himawari, and the theory here suggests that Himawari will be killed by the hands of Boruto himself. Now this is something which I feel is much more plausible and something which might happen in the future of the Boruto series, something possibly after the time skip in itself. Because this will align very well with the prophecy of Momoshiki that Boruto is going to lose everything that he has, everything that he cares for, everything that he loves. And Himawari is the person whom he loves the most in the entire world, so it's quite plausible to believe, or it's quite logical to believe that Himawari will be the one who is going to be sacrificed, and that is going to be happening under the influence of the Boroshiki form, basically Momoshiki taking out his revenge upon the character of Himawari, and in a way this is going to make the life of Boruto a living hell, because he will always have to bear the trauma of him killing his very own sister. I'm personally going to give this theory a 4 out of 5. Now the next one is a bit tricky, and it's going to be a little controversial as well, but the fact here is that Mitsuki is made out of stolen body. We know that Orochimaru is a very great scientist and whatnot, and according to him Mitsuki has a very organic body, he's made out of organic masses. But what if Orochimaru was lying like his older days? What if he's just the expert manipulator that he has always been, and all of this time he was just manipulating everyone including Konoha, that Mitsuki was just a quote-unquote organic biomass, but instead of all of that he is made out of stolen bodies just like the older times. That is basically he's created out of the stolen bodies or the corpses of the people who have been killed by Orochimaru in order to perfect his immortal body. Nowadays, since he's weaker than his prime self, he is not able to experiment on his own body, and hence he's doing all of these things on the body of Mitsuki, and once the thing is perfected, he's going to implement it in his very own body as well. This is a pretty cool theory, but I don't really believe it's that plausible currently in the Boruto series or Boruto timeline for that matter, but it's not really out of the box as well. It's really in line with the character of Orochimaru in a way, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Now the next one is something which I feel is a very controversial topic in a way, and that is the fact that Naruto actually forgot Sage of Six Paths. This basically stemmed from the fight of Naruto against Delta, and how some people believe that Naruto is just being nerfed at this point. Yeah, later on down the line after the Ishiki Otsutsuki fight, after Kurama dies and whatnot, Naruto is definitely nerfed a bit, that is for sure, but I don't believe for a fact that Naruto has totally forgotten the Sage of Six Paths power. That is just not the case. He actually goes on to utilize these powers, but he's just not having the truth-seeking orbs or just the Gudodama for that matter. Why? That's a topic of discussion for another day, and now with Kurama being gone, it's just not that plausible to talk about it that much. But the topic that Naruto forgot Sage of Six Paths is a very dull and inconsequential one, so I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5. The next one is in relation to Sasuke and the fact that Sasuke will get a second Rinnegan. Now a couple of chapters ago, I really believed that Sasuke was going to get a second Rinnegan, basically as an alternative power up, something different to the space-time ninjutsu based powers of his Amenoteji Kara and whatnot. But currently seeing the events of the Boruto manga, I feel like a hand is probably going to be more important for him in a matter of fact, especially after involving the shenanigans of Amado. A Rinnegan really doesn't seem that plausible at this moment as to how exactly he's going to get that Rinnegan. Nagato or Madara is not actually present at this moment, and even though we don't really know much about Obito or Danzo's laboratory, but still I don't believe that a Rinnegan is going to just pop out of nowhere, especially without all the powers involving it. So for that matter, I'm going to give it, at least as of now, a 2 out of 5. I will be really happy to see some different kind of a power for Sasuke in the future of the series, but now with his death predictions and all of those things heading into the time skip, it seems lesser and lesser likely that Sasuke is going to get a major power up anytime soon, other than maybe just his arm. Next we have Kashin Koji. Kashin Koji has memories of Jiraiya. Very simply, I do believe that this is actually true. I don't really feel like he has all the memories of Jiraiya, but because of the genetics and the cryogenics of the cyborg body, he definitely retains some of the memories of Jiraiya, some of the fate or the link of Jiraiya, which was pretty evident when he initially entered Konoha for the very first time. So it's not really the topic of him remembering each and every single details from the life of Jiraiya, and as much as I want to, we are not going to have that heartwarming of a reunion between Kashin Koji and Naruto in the form of Naruto reuniting with his older master in the form of Jiraiya. It's just going to be along the lines of, yeah, he knows some aspects of Jiraiya's life and just that's it. I don't feel like it's going to be along the lines of a good reunion for that matter. So for now, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. And the last theory for level 2 here we have is that Momoshiki will go a Kurama route. Basically, Momoshiki will become the partner of Boruto. I wholeheartedly disagree with this, and even if with a very slight chance it actually comes true in the future of the series, I'm going to be very unhappy with that. I don't want Momoshiki to go down the same path as Kurama. I don't want him to become a good buddy like creature to Boruto. I want to see some sort of a different dynamic. We have already seen the dynamic between Naruto and Kurama, so a similar thing like that is not going to be really that plausible or good as a matter of fact. So personally, I would really hate this particular idea, and just because of that, I'm going to give this a 1 out of 5. Do let me know your thoughts about this. Would you like to see Boruto eventually befriending Momoshiki? I personally would not like to see that, but I'm curious to know about your thoughts as well. With that being said, level 2 is finally over and we are going to head over to level 3. Things are going to get even darker now. And here we begin once again with Jiraiya, and the point of the theory here is that Boro is actually an illegitimate son of Jiraiya. It's a really weird and wacky one, let me say that out of the bat. And the obvious question here is in contention of Boro's age. How old exactly is he that he can actually become the son of Jiraiya? Here the point is that even though this is a very good sounding theory, I don't think that this is actually plausible. Because if at all this was actually the case, then Amado would have definitely revealed it, that Jiraiya had an illegitimate son. This is a very common theory, by the way. It was very prevalent during the times of Kashin Koji as well, where everyone thought that Kashin Koji is basically the illegitimate son of Jiraiya. But if at all this was actually the case, Amado would have definitely revealed something like this, because this is a very crucial information for Konoha as a whole. So as much as I want to feel like this is a very cool theory, I just don't feel like this is actually plausible, hence I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. The next one, okay, this is a very good one. I know that this should probably be a little lower on the list, but still it's fine to be on level 3, and that is the fact that Boruto will die and be reborn. This has been a very big point of contention or a very big point of theory since the apparent timeskip which we saw at the starting of the series. I personally believe that this is actually plausible, especially involving the Jogan, but I'm going to talk about the Jogan just in a bit, just hold on for that. But it does make sense to believe that what if Boruto actually died? Would he be freed from the karma? Would he be freed from the curse of Momoshiki Otsutsuki? This is a very interesting theory, and just on the basis of this, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I don't really think that Boruto is going to quote unquote die in a matter of fact, but this is a really cool theory nonetheless, especially because of the things which are going to come up very soon. Stay tuned for level 4 as well. Now the next one is a theory which I personally made myself. I don't really feel like I've seen this anywhere on the internet, especially in the Boruto forums. I even made a video upon it a couple of months back. You can watch it here, links are in the description below. And the theory is that Amado is actually an alien. This is in particular relation to the Marvel comics, especially keeping in mind the character of Galactus. The Otsutsuki clan as a whole seems to be like a reference to the character of Galactus from Marvel, because here the Otsutsuki clan is basically like a conquering clan which goes from planet to planet to devour them and just destroys the civilization and then moves on to the next planet. So what if Amado is actually a remnant or the last surviving member of one of such planets which were actually destroyed by the Otsutsuki clan members, and he has come to Earth seeking revenge or seeking vengeance from the Otsutsuki clan? That is the major reason why he is collaborating with Naruto, because he knows that Naruto is one of the strongest person in this world. That would also explain the huge jump in the technology of the Boruto world and how it happened in just such a small amount of time. This is going to explain a lot of different plot holes as well. So I feel like there's a lot of merit to this particular plot point, and I've already talked about this particular concept in depth, so you can watch my video here. And for now, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. Okay, so the next one is a pretty controversial one in a way, and the point here is that Shikamaru will betray Konoha. Right out of the bat, let me tell you all that this is a 1 out of 5 in my books, The point of contention here is that Shikamaru is growing tired of Naruto and all the shenanigans that he has to deal with because of the stupidity of Naruto and all the people of Konoha and how they are blindly trustworthy and blindly trusting to everyone. He's a very critical thinker apparently, and he's just not someone who likes the ways of Naruto, and maybe just that's why he's going to betray Konoha and maybe move to Sunagakure or someone else for that matter. I totally disagree with this notion. Yeah, he might be annoyed with the tactics of Naruto for some matter of time, and he might also be annoyed by the tactics of the 6th Hokage Kakashi, but still he's never going to betray Konoha as a matter of fact. That's just not going to happen. It's a straight up 1 out of 5 for me. The next one is still a continuation for Iwabe, and the matter of fact here is that Iwabe is a future Kawaki clone. As much as I want to laugh out about this, I feel like this is a 2 out of 5. Let's just move on. The last one for level 3 is something which has been going on since the early Naruto days, not even Boruto days, and the point raised here is that Naruto is going to kill Sasuke under the influence of Ida. After the involvement of Ida in the Boruto story, this theory has been getting a lot of attention, and the fact here is that Naruto is basically going to kill Sasuke under the influence of Ida. What do you guys think about all of these things? Do you believe that Naruto is actually going to kill Sasuke? I personally believe that this is just a 2 or maybe a 3 out of 5 at best. It's not really that plausible because there's many more theories out there about how Boruto is probably the one who's going to kill Sasuke, or Code is going to try to kill Sasuke and Boruto will jump in front of him, yada yada yada. Naruto killing Sasuke doesn't really seem that plausible even after the intervention from Ida. So this was the ending for level 3. Next one here is level 4, which begins with a very iffy theory, and I'm not going to go very much in depth over this. I'm pretty sure that you all are intelligent enough to understand what I'm trying to say here. I'm going to say it in a way that it does not violate the TOS. So yeah, Boruto and Himawari have the genes of Kurama. I 100% believe on this. It's a 5 out of 5 in my books, and even though they might not be able to extract the chakra of Kurama, but still they definitely have the genes of Kurama because they were modified into the genes of Naruto as well, because of which we can see the whiskers on their cheeks as well. How did they get that? You all are pretty smart. I don't think that I need to explicitly stay here what exactly happened behind the scenes. So yeah, Boruto and Himawari definitely have the genes of Kurama, 5 out of 5. Next one is that like I was talking about before about Boruto's death, so here we go. Jogan is actually an upgraded version of the reanimation jutsu, or rather Jogan is the progenitor of the reanimation jutsu. Here basically it supports the fact that Boruto is going to die later on in the series, and he's going to be freed from the curse of Momoshiki, and he's going to be reborn with the help of the Jogan, which is based upon the Pure Eye as well as the Otsutsuki god. So this is a very interesting theory in my opinion, and I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Now the next one is Hinata's favorite jutsu, being the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, 5 out of 5, easy. And I don't even need to explain to you all why. Once again, you all are very smart, so good job there for understanding what I'm trying to say. Wink wink. The next one is Sakura and Sasuke are going to file for a divorce because apparently Sasuke does not care enough for Sakura, and Sakura is basically a burden for Sasuke according to the Sakura haters. So for this, I would like to recommend you all to read the Shinden novels. This is a very outrageous theory and it deserves a spot in the level 4, but it's just not going to happen. Both of them love each other, admire each other, and are passionate for each other. So yeah, this is not going to happen. Sakura and Sasuke are not going to get a divorce. Unfortunately, sorry for the Sakura haters. This is not going to happen. 1 out of 5. The last one for level 4 is yet again with Kawaki, and here the point is that Kawaki's clone got the karma. This is a very interesting theory. It's unlikely to happen at this point. After we saw the latest chapters of Boruto, it's really unlikely to happen. But back then when Ishige Otsutsuki was first defeated, we thought that maybe since Kawaki has brought about his shadow clone jutsu, what if one of his shadow clones got engraved by the karma mark? And what if this shadow clone actually gained sentience? And what if he's the person whom we see in the time skip eventually? He's the person who kills the original Kawaki, and he's the person responsible for all the miseries in the time skip. This is, not gonna lie, a very cool theory, but slowly after reading the latest chapters and whatnot, I will have to probably disagree with this one. But even then, just because it's a very cool and interesting and unique theory, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5, even though it's not really that plausible for that matter. And lastly and finally, we have the deepest of the levels. We are going to test the waters for level 5, the absolute bottom tier of the iceberg. I hope you all are ready for this one. And we begin with a very classic theory, which is Tenten is Lee's mother. Metal Lee's mother is someone whom we actually do not know about. Almost every other character's parental lineage we know, but the only character who is remaining in this particular matter is none other than Metal Lee. We had all these wacky theories that maybe Rock Lee gave birth to Metal Lee just out of the power of youth, and even though that is a pretty cool theory, the even greater, even bigger theory here is that Tenten is actually the secret mother of Metal Lee, and Metal Lee is the love child of Tenten. Even though they did not really divorce or they didn't even marry for that matter, it's a pretty cool theory nonetheless. But I'm going to have to give this a 3 out of 5 just because neither the anime nor the manga has teased us towards any sort of relationship for that matter. Now the next one, once again Orochimaru is in the list. Like I said before, Orochimaru definitely might not have left his original villainous phase. So what if Orochimaru, in his attempt to attain the immortal body, is still trying to reach out for an Uchiha clan member? And since Sasuke is not plausible at this moment, so who is next? The only person left at this moment is definitely Sada. So what if Orochimaru will actually go for the body of Sada? Pretty good theory, so I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5. It's definitely along the lines of OG Orochimaru, so yeah, why not, just why not. Now the next one is Mitsuki is the illegitimate child of Tsunade. Tsunade and Orochimaru had a child and the result is Mitsuki. This makes even more sense in my opinion in comparison to the stolen body, especially after how we see Tsunade reacting to the news of Mitsuki. Yeah, I know, I'm just kidding. Even though this is a very cool theory, this is actually not possible at all. But since this is a very cool theory and something which I really enjoy, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5, even though this is actually not plausible at all. And now we are left with the penultimate one, probably the darker one, and that is Delta was assaulted and killed back in the day. And here by assaulted, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say or what I'm trying to imply. So yeah, she was definitely messed up by some people when Amado eventually found her and made her the cyborg. We don't really exactly know the backstory of Delta in a way, but because of her demeanor, because of her short temper, I do believe that something wrong did happen to her in the past. So yeah, I do believe that Delta was assaulted and killed back in the day. This is a 5 out of 5 in my books. And the last theory for this particular video, Kaguya will be back to help Boruto. As much as I feel like Kaguya will be back, I don't just feel like she's going to be someone who is going to team up with Boruto for that matter. It's a really cool theory honestly, because Kaguya is obviously not dead, she's just sealed. So what if someone unsealed her and brought her back to face against the final villain? Pretty cool theory, and it's actually plausible also, but I don't think that she's going to team up with Boruto in a matter of fact. So even though I like this theory a lot, I'm going to have to give this a 3 out of 5. So these are all the theories which I had for you all in relation to the Boruto iceberg, divided into levels or sections. So what do you guys think about all of these things? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you all enjoyed this video, so please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel as well. Also, if you feel like I should have added some more theories, do mention them in the comment section below, and also do join our Discord server as well, where you can give me all those theories and whatnot. If this video is well received and if I get good enough suggestions, then I can always make a part 2 of this as well. So if you have something in mind, do share it in the comment section below as well as on the Discord server. I would be looking forward to it as well. So thank you so much to each and every one of you for joining. Once again, please do give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and also please do join the channel membership as well. We have some very cool perks and features for you all as well. So thank you to each and every one of you for joining in. This is WonderYZ and I'll see you soon on the next video.